Welcome to Earthly Reads, a My Cup of Earth production. I'm thrilled to introduce you to a new child's story that will transport you to a world of wonder and magic, in a land of magical creatures, where the sun dipped into the horizon and painted the sky with hues of crimson and gold. There lived a little rabbit named Rosie. Rosie was a curious and adventurous bunny who loved to explore the rolling hills and forests of her home. She lived in a cozy burrow beneath the roots of an ancient oak tree, surrounded by a family of rabbits who loved her dearly. One day, while Rosie was out on a hop, she stumbled upon a hidden path she had never seen before. The path was overgrown with weeds and vines, and it seemed to lead to a place she had never been before. Rosie's curiosity got the better of her, and she decided to follow the path to see where it would take her. As she hopped along the winding path, the trees grew taller and the air grew sweeter with the scent of blooming flowers. Rosie felt as though she was entering a secret world, hidden from the rest of the magical creatures. The path began to slope upward, and Rosie found herself climbing a gentle hill. At the top of the hill, Rosie came upon a clearing surrounded by a ring of mushrooms. In the center of the clearing stood an enormous toadstool, its cap a vibrant shade of orange. Rosie had never seen a toadstool so large and vibrant before, and she felt drawn to it as if it were calling her name. As she approached the toadstool, Rosie noticed that it was surrounded by a group of creatures she had never seen before. They were small, no bigger than Rosie's thumb, and they had delicate wings like butterflies. The creatures flitted about the clearing, sipping nectar from the flowers and playing in the warm sunlight. Rosie watched the creatures in wonder, feeling as though she had stumbled upon a secret world. Suddenly, one of the creatures noticed her and flew down to introduce himself. His name was Felix, and he was a tiny fairy with wings as delicate as a spider's web. "Welcome, Rosie," Felix exclaimed, his voice like the tinkling of a bell. "I've never seen a rabbit up here before. What brings you to our neck of the woods?" Quote, Rosie explained how she had stumbled upon the hidden path and followed it to the clearing. Felix listened with wide eyes, nodding his head enthusiastically. "I see," he said. "You're a curious one, aren't you? Well, I think you'll find that our little corner of the forest is full of wonders. Would you like to explore with me?" Quote, Rosie's eyes sparkled with excitement. She had never been on an adventure before, and the thought of exploring with a fairy was too exciting to resist. Together, Rosie and Felix set off to explore the clearing and the surrounding forest. They discovered hidden streams and waterfalls, and Rosie even found a hidden patch of clover that tasted like honey. As the sun began to set, Felix led Rosie to a special place where the creatures of the forest gathered to share stories and sing songs. Rosie sat among the creatures, feeling as though she had found a new family. They welcomed her with open arms, and she sang along with them as the stars began to twinkle in the sky. As the night wore on, Felix led Rosie back to the edge of the clearing. "It's time for you to go home, Rosie," he said, his voice tinged with sadness. "But don't worry, you're always welcome to come back and visit us. We'll be here, waiting for you." Rosie thanked Felix and the other creatures for their hospitality, promising to return soon. As she made her way back down the hill, she felt grateful for the adventure and the new friends she had made. From that day on, Rosie visited the clearing whenever she could. She learned about the different creatures that lived there, and she even helped Felix and his friends with their magic. Together, they created spells and potions that helped the forest grow stronger and more vibrant. As the years passed, Rosie grew up to be a wise and powerful rabbit. She used her knowledge and magic to help her fellow creatures, and she became known throughout the land as a hero and a friend. And every time Rosie looked up at the stars, she remembered the magical creatures who had welcomed her with open arms. and she felt grateful for the adventure that had brought her to their doorstep. The story of Rosie and the magical creatures of the forest was passed down from generation to generation. A reminder of the power of friendship and the magic that lay just beyond the edge of our everyday world. And so, dear reader, I hope you'll join Rosie on her adventures and discover the wonders that await us all just beyond the edge of our everyday world. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.